Hello guys, today we're talking about Joker. Yes, the Joker movie. And yep, the Joker movie is actually a pretty great movie. The movie is, for people who easily, get scared and disturbed, I am one of those people. Surprisingly, I wasn't disturbed. I watched a movie about EMP blasts, and that movie was more disturbing to me than this movie. But this movie is about the Joker, and there isn't, you know, the movie is basically, the synopsis is how the Joker became a bad guy, how Joker became the villain. It's, a pretty easy movie. It's not a movie, it's like kind of like, several other movies that have come out in the past years. It's really easy to predict what, you know, predict like, oh, at the end, Joker's gonna become the bad guy. Like, we all know what that was gonna happen. Joker becomes an evil person, okay? Kind of like Endgame. We all know that heroes are gonna win, but the rest of the movie, I'm not gonna spoil it because it could be. It's kind of like it's kind of sometimes it's kind of you kind of be confused in some parts because if you aren't paying attention. So basically, the rest of the movie will really not be spoiled because I don't want to spoil it for you because it ruined the whole point of the movie. But Joker is about a guy who has been rejected and tossed around by society. At the very very beginning, uh, you know, when he's holding up the sign, he gets punched and he gets beat up by a bunch of guys and he gets fired from a job. So that's basically, like the first like 10 minutes. Of course also like another the first minutes are also a part when Joker, you know, is on the place, putting on his makeup and that stuff, or and doing that, doing typical, clown makeup, putting on clown makeup, probably before that event, you know, where he was doing the board thing. So overall, I won't really talk about more, but the cinematography was pretty great of this movie. The acting, this movie. A lot of people who were saying this movie was a masterpiece. Was great. They were completely correct. You know, the movie's soundtrack as well. The movie's soundtrack, it adds to the feeling of the movie, the feeling that of dread. It's kind of like we never see these kinds of movies. And I also now after watching I know I watched Joker, I realized that people were disappointed. Why people were disappointed in Suicide Squad. Because people want Suicide Squad to be this dark, depressing movie, okay? Because DC is more about, the more adult themes, the adult tones, and Marvel is not really because, Disney owns them. And this is a movie that Disney will never make. That's for sure. This movie, if you're never gonna see a Darth Vader movie that is dark and depressing, or movie, it's gonna, gonna try to make some part of the movie happy, wappy, okay? You know, and that's probably why people like several other movies. This movie is if you get that's probably why they easily offended the SJWs hate this movie because they want all movies to be the same, and that's probably why this movie made $1 billion because this movie is different from every other movie. Okay, and it was like some about like some unknown person who probably did like Glitter Jewel. Okay, the box office, but it's about a fictional character that everybody loves. That almost everybody loves her. Also, people who I know who do not like a few people who I know who do not like the Joker because of stupid reasons. But you know, basically, they're also. But I realize though, actually, they're STWs anyways. One of them, believes that I'm not gonna talk about one of them. Really tried to argue with me that I'm an evil person because I don't like because I didn't support a sort of political ideology. But Joker also takes is literally the Forever Alone meme as well. The Forever Alone meme, Joker and him should really have a talk with each other. They would have a lot in common as well, you know. But Joker, he kind of, throughout the movie, you kind of feel sorry for him. The guys, that he kills throughout the movie, they have done bad stuff to him. He does. And also the violence in this movie, they kept saying that this movie is super violent. This movie, is a top of the line violent. I've seen more violent movies than this. I've seen Deadpool. I've seen Kill Bill. Kill Bill is more violent than this movie. Okay, like when I think of violence, I think of like action movies, and Joker kills like you know the closest thing to violence was the riots at the end of the movie. But that and I guess the Purge movies should be banned because they're too violent. Because that's similar to the Purge movies. Similar to the Purge movies. Okay, so the violence whole thing is just completely fabricated because they wanted to shut down this movie because they hated this movie so much. They said this movie was. He even had sites like Looper saying that this movie was gonna bomb, but they never said Dark Phoenix was gonna bomb. They never said Charlie. They never said Charlie's Angels. I think they did say they never said Charlie's Angels would bomb because those are the movies they tried to pop up before the movies actually came out and bombed at the box office. Okay, this movie actually will probably end up making more money worldwide than The Rise of Skywalker. If you really look at this movie's success, it's actually phenomenal. Okay, this movie's been nominated for a ton of awards. You know, uh, you know, I think it deserves to be on best soundtracks because the soundtrack of this movie, as I said before, is makes the soundtrack creates the total movie. The only other movie that I know the soundtrack is but the only other movie that came out this year that soundtrack really elevates the tone of the movie is Alita Battle Angel. That's the only other movie I can think of that I have seen. That came out. What I mean by this year, I mean 2019, because I have a 2020 movies. They have been terrible so far. But okay, I'll say it's 2018 last year. I still keep saying 2019 is this year. It's a habit I have every new year. But you know, it seems that the SDWs and the critics, they just say lost. Okay, I and also if this movie was so dangerous, and why would it have they tell me, oh, you need to have blah blah blah, blah blah blah. It's this movie's violent, so we watching it. But I've seen movies that are much more violent. There are probably actual horror movies that are much more violent. Than this movie. But this movie is dark and dark and depressing. If you know, some people probably did see this movie and couldn't sleep after the movie. Okay, I stayed up for like 40 minutes after watching this movie, thinking of the power of this movie because this movie is a you know pretty the plot is it's pretty simple but there's some more complex and intricate parts of the movie as well. Or and what else can I say? It's probably DC's best movie ever made. And that, you're gonna have those Dark Knight fanboys saying, "Oh, it's a Dark Knight, best the DC movie ever." Okay, they have those Dark Knight fanboys. Okay, it's probably Phoenix's performance. He makes the Joker feel like a real person. It makes his performance. I said is amazing. Probably on par of the other Joker performance from the Dark Knight as well, Heath Ledger's performance, and it's you never get to see something like this out of Marvel or Disney. Hopefully this movie making $1 billion. Okay, this movie will probably sell like 2 or 3 million copies on Blu-ray. I'm not even joking here. Probably sell 2 to 3 million copies because it's just this movie is just selling out everywhere. Okay, you know there's still a lot of standard Blu-rays, but the steel books are sold out everywhere because everybody wants to see this movie. Everybody wants to see this movie as well. I don't have the steel book, but if you go to anywhere, the steel books are sold out. All the special editions they come out with are sold out as well. So there was no the only controversial parts in the movie or some jokes they made about certain group, but and also this movie isn't really woke or political at all, and that's the thing that they probably hate about this movie. This movie's not political at all. Joker is a non-political movie, unless you want to talk about, there was some symbolism, there was quote unquote symbolism in the movie, like the middle class and the lower class is rising up against the rich and powerful. That's a left wing message, or the right wing message that the how society has turned into a radical place where they reject certain people, and but this movie is really just about human nature. Okay, you know I hope anti-bullying organizations really look at this movie and use this movie as a message for anti-bullying, because this movie is proof that not all killers, or that all killers, all villains, all evil people, especially especially abused people like Joker, for example. I'm gonna excuse him because he's the exact abused people like Joker. Use example, okay? that why bullying is a bad thing. And all you have to do is show, Joker being beat up and how he turned into a murderer. And that's pretty easy because that's how it is. You don't treat someone, I think, even some people who have been being the people who have been bullies in the past will realize, hey, maybe we have been such bad people. We have to, care about the other people around us. And it's the funny thing is these SCWs think they want to push this. You all have to be nice message, but they're the ones that are trashing this movie, even though it has this message. Okay, this message, saying, oh, if you don't make fun of people for your disabilities, don't make fun of people for being different, for being outcasts, and don't try to socially isolate everyone as well, which that's what they basically did to Joker. They so basically society socially isolated him, and there's probably a lot of people out there that are in the same exact situation as Joker, same exact situation as Joker. So basically, this movie is probably one of the best movies of the year. Up there with movies like Arena Battle Angel. That's another really great movie that isn't really getting a lot of sign for us because the critics hated that movie. You know, they hate Alita Battle Angel for basically the stupidest reasons. Okay, they hate this movie. They gave this movie worse scores than Batwoman. Meanwhile, 99%. Even though even IMDb, the most trustworthy source on the internet, has an 8.6. Even IMDb decided to finally come to a conclusion that this movie is great. It's awesome. It's a great movie. Okay, you know. So yes, and this movie is disturbing, but the whole point of the movie is to show the awfulness of society. That's why it's disturbing, but it's good because it's supposed to show the bad horrors of society. It's supposed to and I won't be surprised if this is the way where there's no actual politics. Okay, the movie is supposed to disturb you. It's supposed to that, and that's the mastercraft of this movie. It's like you know. So I think this is probably DC's greatest film of all time. Probably the best movie. Okay, you know. Probably better than it's definitely better than Endgame. Okay, Endgame is entertainment, but a lot of Endgame was boring. Okay, throughout some of the movie with some corny jokes that were funny, but you know, Joker, you know, even though there was little action at all, and the movie made me kept wanting to watch the movie. He kept wanting to see if Joker would feel better, but he never did. He never did. And it just got worse, and you just see this guy just turn to madness, and it's just you know and of course, there's a quote, and even the top tens, another biased source put this movie as the second best movie of the year. They still hasn't passed Endgame, but even the biased people at the top tens put this at number two. Okay, the biased people at the top tens, and of course, the controversy of this movie was overblown as well. Frozen 2 caused more violence than this movie, real life violence. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker caused an actual brawl in the cinema, but Joker never did. You never saw like anything about There were some people walking out, but every movie has people walk out. That's just the thing, okay? Every movie, good or bad, has people walking out the movie, okay? You know, I won't be surprised if there's tons of people who walked out on Endgame, okay? Who are this movie? Yeah, I'm not watching this movie anymore. Okay, it's boring, okay? Because everybody has different tastes in movies, and I can appreciate the fact that people have different tastes in movies. That's what makes us all human. Okay, it makes us all people. And hopefully, overall, this movie's a obvious. This movie's a 10 out of 10. It's a must see of 2019. Metacritic doesn't list as a must see, but it is a must see. And Joker is probably one of the greatest villains in all of media, and this probably does prove that Joker is probably one of the greatest Batman villains as well too. So that's basically it. Goodbye. And remember, if you be mean, let's remember the Joker will. Let's remember, everybody has feelings, just like the Joker. So let's remember, be nice in the comment sections and in all other videos as well, because you never know how the person might be feeling as well. So that's basically it. Goodbye.